Welcome to the making of a DM. The law of exposure with money, health, relationships, and business from Maui, Hawaii. So with that said, let's get started.
I'm Mark Evans, I'm Mark Evans, I'm here to help and teach them what I know and how I did it to discover freedom. There ain't no question Mark Evans when he step in the door. He's closing deals. It's time to tell him what the DM stand for. I'm a deal maker, but I'm not just a deal maker. I'm a dream maker.
Hey there, it's your boy Mark Evans, DM. Welcome to another making of the DM. Today's edition is from Maui, Hawaii. Actually, in Lahaina near the Whalers Village, overlooking the ocean as I speak to you with two rainbows. The water's calm as can be. Some people out there body surfing or whatever they're doing, paddleboarding. But I want to share with you some powerful stuff today. Before I get started today, I want to let you know I appreciate every single one of you. It's been a minute since I've done a show. I've had so many people reach out asking when the next show is, and well, here it is. We've been going through a lot of cool stuff, transitioning and just dealing with business and life and all that. And that's what I'm going to talk about today because I like to share real stuff with you guys and gals that listen to the making of a DM. But before I do, like I said, thank you so much for sharing the show. As many of you know, you hear like pay the fee and, you know, I don't run ads and all that stuff. Get over to any platform that you listen to the show and please leave a 5-star review. Share it with your friends. If the show makes an impact in any way, shape, or form, if it pisses you off to motivate you or whatever in a good way, please share it and let your friends know, hey, this is what I'm up to. Listen to this guy. He's crazy, but he's right, i.e. the making of a DM. So share the show. Tag me at Mark Evans DM. I'll reshare it. I'll get you some followers, letting people know that we are working on a lot of cool stuff as a collective. As I'm sitting here with the family, as you may or may not know, but this is the Family Legacy Long Evans family trip. Just to refresh you if you're brand new here, my father-in-law, I was talking to him. I like to ask people I care about, like, what's their goals? What's their dreams? What would they like to do? And what are you going to do when you pass? What's that look like? Is there anything you'd like to carry out, for me to carry out, or the family to carry out that you've never really talked about? And it's not morbid, it's proactive. And I was talking with my father-in-law. He's like, yeah, you know, I'd love for you to, I think I'm going to get, instead of getting buried, I want to get my ashes spread in Hawaii, Maui, Hawaii. And I started laughing. I'm like, dude, you've never been to Hawaii, have you? He's like, no. I was like, well, I'm not taking your ashes to Maui. I'm taking you to Maui. And he kind of chuckled like, yeah, whatever. I am crazy. I do crazy stuff. And he kind of forgot about it, but I didn't. I started putting into works about how, you know, what I was going to do for the family on Christmas. And me, my wife sit down and we got my father-in-law, my sister-in-law, my brother-in-law, my other sister-in-law, their 2 kids. There's a total of 10 of us that I flew out first class, everything first class, you know, airlines, first class resort, first class food. They don't have to pay or do anything. Just show up and enjoy life. Be here, be present. My father-in-law is 75. We're not getting any younger. Life is very precious, as you know. But it's like literally, I was sitting yesterday talking to him at lunch, and he's like, man, we're listening to some guy play some good music with the hula girls up there dancing at the Hula Grill in Whalers Village, if you know that area. And we're talking, and he's like, dude, like, I don't think you realize this was always on my bucket list. And I said, that's awesome, man. What else is on your bucket list? He's like, honestly, this is all I have on my bucket list. And I was like, one, I'm glad and acknowledge you. And I'm glad that we're here at this moment. It was me and everyone were just hanging out, just talking and listening to good music. I was like, but we need to get a bigger bucket. If this is the only thing you have on your bucket list, how do we get a bigger bucket and start adding things to it? You and I, you're listening to this show because I would bet that you want more out of life. You want to give more, do more, be more, connect with more people. This is a 6-figure trip for me. Not bragging, just telling you the truth of what it costs to put on something like this for what I'm doing. I'm not saying you have to spend 6 figures to create an amazing legacy experience with your family. But what I'm saying is Why are we doing all this crazy bullshit dealing as an entrepreneur to not do amazing fucking things in our life to change other people's life that we genuinely care about that can't do it for themselves? I'm not knocking him. It's just he's a different generation, a different stride, different goals, different thing. It's just different. You and I are different in a good way. It is what it is. We push hard. We grind hard. We grow hard. We're pushing every day. When people think we're crazy, we're like, that's all you got? That's called life. And unfortunately, in our world, because you listen to shows like this and you're probably around other entrepreneurs, we think it's normal that people do what we do, are willing to put up with what we put up with to get to the next step. To sit here, depending when you're listening to me, if you're sitting here at 4 a.m. on the fucking treadmill because you got up early, because you have goals and dreams, and the only way to accomplish them is by getting up and doing the fucking work, my friend, you're in a good company today, because that's who I am. I'm crazy. I want to grow. I want to push. I want to enjoy the process. But let me be very clear. Entrepreneurship is not for everybody. Very few, actually. As we embark into 2023, what are we in mid-April 2023 already? The world is changing. People are changing. I'm watching it happen before my eyes. True story, about 2.5 weeks ago, I got an email from one guy that has been in my company for 2.5 years or so. And we've done a lot. We've done many, many things. We generated many, many millions of dollars through the units that he's worked with. And he sent an email. And the email was so not him. It was negative. It come off as a weird stance, like the world's against me and you're fucking against me, blah, blah, blah. He sees the way the sausage is made behind the scenes. He knows how I work. I do the right thing when it's hard, when it sucks, when it's money out of my pocket. I still do the right fucking thing. It sucks, but it's what we signed up for. Very few people do that, by the way. Everyone says it, but very few people do it. He saw it behind the scenes, and he had a pretty big scare in his life. Health scare, right, for a second. So we got that going on. We got the world going on, negativity and all these things, right? And I'm not judging. I'm just sharing. But the way he came at it was very different than who he is, who I know. So I got on the phone with him. I'm like, dude, what is going on? And we just talked about it for about an hour. By the way, there was no turning back. I wasn't trying to save him in the company because the email, there's no turning back from the way the email was presented. He fucked up, truthfully. He really fucked up the way he sent the email he did. But hey, we all fuck up. So it happened. I got the email. I responded. Got on the phone and we talked. I'm not mad. Actually, it was kind of a relief. To be honest with you, I was relieved because this guy is making a lot of money and on the path to make a lot of money with us. And I want people around me making money. It's not always, this much and it keeps going up and it never goes down or never slows down or all. No, that's called business. That's called life. That happens when you're attached to growth and revenue. It's not a straight line up. There's ups and downs and sideways. But it started getting a big number. It was like a real number. It was starting to look really good for him. And I carry a lot of weight on that because I want the guys that are rolling with me to live very well. I want them to do well financially. And I want them looking out for me and the company and the clients and everybody else, themselves included, of course. And that goes away. Today, I sent the last wire he'll ever get from me, ever. My team did. As I'm sitting here in Maui, right? Everyone's online watching. Oh, Mark's in Maui. He must be hanging out doing nothing. It's so easy. Man, it must be nice. Do you know how much shit I have going on? I'm in the midst of buying a big company. I'm in the midst of losing one of our guys in the company. I'm in the midst, I still got calls and emails and growth. We're working on a big event, June 29th and 30th in Cleveland, Ohio. I hope you can make it. It's June 29th and 30th. It's called the Birthday Bash Effect, where we go out and we raise a lot of money for charity, but most importantly, I bring a lot of cool people to share with you. It's not a pitch-a-thon. It's none of that bullshit. It's straight content, high value, amazing relationship connections and growth. So that happened, and that's going on here while I'm here. So the good news is I'm 6 hours behind East Coast, so I can get up at 3:30 or 4 o'clock in the morning here in Hawaii. I can get some work done, and then I could go play. As I'm recording to you, it's 9 a.m. Hawaiian time or 3 p.m. East Coast time. right? So that's kind of like that weird thing. And I forget because I started traveling like this in '05. So, you got to just kind of play around with your schedules in mind. And, like the beautiful thing about if you build the businesses right, you can work anywhere at any time. Not to say there's not timely things that have to occur, because there definitely is, but it's pretty cool stuff. But anyway, so he's departing, and I texted him before I sent the last wire because I was just curious. I was like, yo, over the last 2 weeks, how many calls and emails have you gotten from other team members asking for assistance or help or a catastrophic situation or happening, they need you pulled in? Drum roll. Zero. Zero people. And it had me think a lot, because you ever meet people that make themselves so significant in a system, but yet they're not that significant in the system? If I left the system, I would be fucking blowing up. Where are you at? What's going on? What do we need? Hey, I need this. Who do you know? Blah, 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 blah. And this individual had zero. He may be listening to this show now, and I genuinely want this guy to crush life. But I think about when I was, like I said, I just thought like, wow, zero responses. I don't know if he was happy about that or sad about that, because we didn't really talk about it. I was just genuinely curious, because I truly thought he would have been blown up. I really thought that. I thought he hinged a lot of components, because my goal, and this is my job, I felt, as a leader here, to share the vision. I wanted him to, focus on what he's great at. He's very project driven. I wanted him to focus on that. And I was weaning him off of that. I was hiring COO to drive that and get things going. And I don't know if he felt like he was getting ready to get fired. By the way, I had zero inkling to let this guy go. Zero. Because I look at people in my ecosystem for forever. I want people to roll with us forever. And that didn't happen, unfortunately. It's part of life. But again, I wish him nothing but great success. I hope he absolutely crushes it. But he's got a long road ahead. It's not easy. It's an entrepreneur is not easy for someone that's very structured. And he's always a very structured guy. And like I said, it's going to be an interesting road, but I hope one that he absolutely crushes. So I like to share real life stuff with you. And because it's real time, it's real, it's what's going on. And I think a lot of times entrepreneurs think it only happens to them, but you don't understand. Well, I understand, and I know all entrepreneurs understand, potentially losing someone key in your world and you think everything's going to collapse. I'm not saying, like, I got the email, I kind of laughed. I did laugh, actually, because it's my mechanism. And I got to work. I messaged everyone, here's the deal, here's what's going on, boom. This was on a Wednesday. And in essence, he was kind of done in 2 days, because I'm like, dude, I don't like to dick around. I don't need 2 weeks. Hey, you got everything set up? Cool, good. Send me information. You just be around if we need you. Thank you for your service, kind of thing. But it's real. It's what's going on. And the team pulled together. Like, it really, I saw a lot of people step up, and truthfully, we're relieved that, wow, thank you. And acknowledging them. Thank you for stepping up. Thank you for taking more on. Thank you for being a part of the team. Thank you for just being here. And I hope they're excited for the journey, because these companies that we're building, are always evolving, always growing, getting punched in the face, keep going. Most people are stopping. We're not. We're just winning. So I want to share this stuff with you, because when I was at an event, and I've been really going to a lot more events to really connect with high-level people, relationship capital. I don't just talk this shit. I actually live it. I do it. I've been doing it since 96. I've been going to events. The last 6 months, I've been to more events in the last 6 months than I was in the last 3 years, because as I said in my podcast shows and everything I talk about is everyone's efforts need to elevate, because things are changing. Things are different. And right now is the time to go deep in yourself and build relationship capital and invest in the best investment you'll ever invest in. You know what that is, right? The best investment you'll ever invest in. It's not crypto. It's not real estate. It's not a new business. It's not an existing business. It's that pretty face of yours. It's you. And I know when you take L's and you just get punched in the face, kicked in the dick, throat punched, etc., you realize sometimes you're like, dude, I can't go anymore. I can't do it anymore. And anytime these things creep up in your mind, I just want you to understand, like, we've all been there. We all might be there now. Don't look at me thinking I have it figured out. I don't have anything figured out. I just know that I'm never going to stop. I have a couple things that we're growing and pushing and learning about, but like, listen, we're all learning together on this journey of life. See, life doesn't get easier. It's just hard in general, right? On certain things, right? When people get old, they're ailing, loved ones pass away, great people leave your companies and things are happening and breaking, companies break, companies go under, whatever. It's just we learn how to better deal with them as we evolve as entrepreneurs and individuals. We are the investment. We are the best investment. No one can ever take away the knowledge. No one can ever take what you're doing right now, listening to me, and undo it. And that's what I want to talk to you about, because I've talked about this before, but when I was at this event, it sounded different. And hopefully, maybe it'll sound different to you. But there's a law called law of exposure. Law of exposure. And I'm not talking about exposing yourself. I'm talking about law of exposure, meaning when I walked on that $38 million house in the early 2000s because I made a donation to a charity, that moment changed my life. When I was 10, 12 years old and I stepped foot in a Ferrari 308, the guy let me sit in it and think, like, it changed my life. I was exposed to something I seen on TV. I've heard about it, but I never saw it, touched it, felt it, sat in it, smelled it, or anything. I didn't know anybody that had that stuff, but I became exposed to it. What I'm talking about today, you can't unhear. You've been exposed. You're an entrepreneur. You're driving, you're growing, you're pushing to new heights because something behind the scenes have exposed you to a bigger life, a bigger future, a bigger opportunity. You've been exposed. This is not a bad thing, by the way. This is an amazing thing. This is why and again, I've been doing this for years and I didn't know exactly what I was doing. I knew I'd get a taste of it and all these things, but like when I do the jet experiences, they're $10,000 on average for each ticket. And you're thinking, dude, I can fly for $340 in coach. Cool. You're exposed to coach. You're exposed to the shitty systems at the airports. Show up 2 hours early. I'm not knocking. It's just what most people are exposed to. But if I can expose you to a jet experience to get around people that are doing big shit, cool things, amazing things, taking a risk on themselves, investing $10,000 to get on a jet, to pull up to the jet, walk on, and we go. You realize, oh my gosh, it breaks your framework. You've been exposed to a new thing, and it feels pretty damn good. If you've ever flown regular class, first class, or jet experience, you know there's a massive difference in all three of them. And I don't just do this for me. I do this for people I care about. As I said, at this legacy trip I'm doing, by the way, I'm doing another one July 1st through the 8th for my family, my mom and dad, my sisters and my nieces and their kids. More on that later, I'm guessing. But they're in first class with us. They're staying at the Ritz with us. They're doing these things with it. I'm picking up the bill. I'm proud because I've been preparing for this shit. I've been busting my ass for fucking 26 and a half years. I've been grinding and pushing and punching. I'm in the game with you side by side. It's much easier for me to do a family legacy trip than it is for me to go take a trip for myself. I can already do that if I want. I love to do it with people I love and care about, and knowing that I can do this for us, for the trip, for the journey, for the experience. I want to expose you to taking care of your wife, your mother-in-law, your father-in-law, your parents, your grandparents, people that you care about in your life. I want you to stop fucking being so selfish. It's not just about you. You have to make more money. You have to think bigger. You have to think different if you want to accomplish what you really want to accomplish. You No one else. You. When is the moment when you can sit down with your spouse and say, hey, we're good. Put your 2 weeks in. We're good. Forever. When's that moment? And if it's already happened, you know how it feels. True story, my wife has really never, ever, ever worked since she's met me. I've always wanted to be the guy that takes care of their wife. And I'm not saying that's good or bad, it's just who I am. And we have a mutual agreement. We know what's going on. We're on the same page. We've had a plan. We're executing the plan. Not to say that the plan doesn't change sometimes. It does. But we knew we were going to travel before we had children. We got done traveling, we got married. We got married, we had children. We had a plan. Most people out here fucking just giggling around like everything's amazing and you're going to live forever. You're not. Newsflash, you and I are not living forever. So stop acting like it. Law of exposure. Why do you think I do the yacht trips? Those are $5,000 a ticket for 8 hours. We're on a yacht. $10 million plus yacht typically. Sitting on the yacht. 12 of us talking about life, business, challenges, wins, and everything else in between. As I look back at people that attend the jet experiences and the yacht experiences, I have a lot of repeat people. Success leaves clues. How cool is it that, some people are like, dude, I would never invest $5,000 to go on a boat. That's just a boat, man. I could put that money so many other places. Cool. So do it. Yeah, man, but you don't understand, dude. I got to do this. I got to do that. But they have all these fucking excuses. See, you think you're investing in a boat experience. You're investing in you to get on a yacht that you've never fucking stepped foot on in your life because you don't have the balls to fucking pony up 100 G's to do it. To get around 11 other amazing people that are at or where you want to be and all on the same page to talk openly. See, most people don't value the investment in themselves because you're exposed to fucking losers. You're exposed to people say, dude, if they're making so much money, why don't they do it for free? Hey, motherfucker, why don't you go to work for free, homie? Why don't you take a day of your life away from your family for free and do nothing? Well, I will. Perfect. I don't want to fucking roll with you. Why? Because you don't value your time. I've never worked with someone for free that has went on to go and crush it in life. If you want to go fucking be Mother Teresa and save everyone for free, go do it. That's not who I am. I'm an entrepreneur, capitalist, business owner that respects my time and understands that time is limited. And if you're not willing to pay for it, I don't want to fucking roll with you, period. Why would I? Why would you want to roll with someone teaching you how to fucking make money that doesn't offer to make money with you? Pay to play. But you ain't fucking complaining with that new iPhone, the cable, the brand new car, the Hyundai Accent, whatever bullshit, shitty car you're probably driving. Yo, man, I got my Honda Accent, dude. That's all I need, man. I'm not materialistic. Well, then ride a fucking bike. Ride a bike then, Mr. fucking non-materialistic. It's disgusting to me to think that people think like that. Unfortunately, it's the majority. I'm hyped up today, if you can't tell. You know why? Because life, you have to be bold. You have to know that this shit is real. I grew up in a small town, Ohio trailer court, watching my parents cry over money, paying bills, not having it. Yet they're hardworking, doing a lot of the right things. And I'm not knocking this. I never seen them read a book about financials. I never saw them read a book about how to get ahead in life. I never saw, back then, this is books days. I'm not talking audio books and videos and all this shit. That didn't really exist. But I'm talking like a book about life and success and growth. They just worked hard, paid bills, Repeat process. I respect that. But that's not who you and I are. We're creators. We're entrepreneurs. We're building companies. We're building, I have hundreds of people's lives under my umbrella that I have to support through my vision, through my leadership. If I suck, they suck. If they suck, I suck. Law of exposure. This goes for money. This goes for health. This goes for relationships and businesses. As I'm watching this guy, his name's Wes Watson. Great guy, by the way. He's bold. He's hungry. This guy was, if you don't know much about him, in prison for 10 years. Massive, crazy tatted, big beards. I like that shit. I think it's cool. I want everyone just to be weird and crazy, dude. I love that shit. I don't care what you look like, color, race, religion. None of that shit matters to me. All I care is if you fucking have a voice and you care and you want to grow and you keep sharing your truth, I'm down to roll with you. I love that shit. And, but I was watching him on stage and he's talking about this and, he's generating a couple million a month. It's awesome. And in 5 years, this guy, so what's your excuse, right? This is what I think about. What's people's excuse? This guy 5 years ago was walking out of the penitentiary for 10 years in, living with his grandmother and his parents in the same house. True story. To build a $2 million a month empire. It's a lot of money. But as I was listening to him, I was thinking I'm listening, there's 100 men in this room and women. And I'm like, dude, this is amazing content. But also the exposure, he's like, I make $2 billion a month. Wow, he can do it. Why can't I? That's exposure, by the way. But also, and again, I'm not throwing shade on him. I love this, but we have to, as we get bigger, understand he has a big voice. So people take every word he says as factual, matter of fact, but he doesn't have a wife. He doesn't have kids. These are not excuses, by the way. These are facts. So there's certain things I will not do for money. And that's more like time, right? I don't have, if I was single and had all the time in the world to do whatever, yes, I could change, I could grow things bigger, quicker, maybe. And also I could also kill it harder. So these aren't excuses. That's what a lot of people use as excuses, but this is more of an awareness, situational awareness. I love what he's saying. It's a buffet of greatness, but where am I at in my life? Maybe you have a kid, 2 kids, 5 kids, who knows? So there's certain things he says that might not be pertainable to you at this moment. No big deal. Don't get discouraged, get encouraged that he's sharing his knowledge. Your job is to decipher what serves you. This goes for everybody, by the way. Just because someone's great at business does not mean they're great at relationships. Just because someone's great at relationships definitely does not mean they're great at money management and all that, right? So, but I can learn from these. You can learn from all these people. I think that's the beautiful thing about this world we live in. People are willing to share their knowledge freely. I'm sharing it with you for free. I love this shit. I love making an impact. I love walking down the street and people are like, DM, you changed my life. Fuck yeah, man. Right? I love that stuff. But I also know I got to do the work to show up, to share real knowledge. I'm not just sharing bullshit. Law of exposure. Money, health, relationships, business, and such. I remember late 1990s, late 1900s, 1996 or 7, somewhere around there. I walked into a guy's office. He had 60,000 employees. True story, 65,000 actually. And a big company in Ohio. And I walked in his office and he had a bunch of checks on his desk. And when I looked down, it was over $4 million and it was 4 months old. I looked at him like, dude, how the fuck, $4 million? He said, yeah, I'll get to it. I just haven't put it in the bank yet. Now, keep in mind, I'm a small town hillbilly, small kid from Ohio. 4 million. I just wanted to make $100,000 a year, right? And I started doing some real estate, making a couple bucks, nothing remotely close to that at that time. And I thought to myself, I'm like, dude, back then, if I had a $40 check, I'm dropping everything and taking it to the bank. I'm not even joking. I'm not exaggerating. I'm being dead serious. So when I saw someone that had 4 million sitting for 4 months and had many checks on his desk for many months later, I thought to myself, wow, maybe there's more to life. Maybe there's more to business life out there. Maybe there's a lot more money than I dreamt of out there. I never had exposure to that kind of wealth. I didn't know anybody that made $1 million, $100,000 a year, let alone someone had a $4 million check just sitting on his desk, hanging out. It's truth. Law of exposure is real. I went to my office. I felt discouraged and encouraged at the same time. I was encouraged because I know there's more money than I was making at the time, way more. But I was also discouraged because I'm like, dude, why am I not there yet? But then I stopped for a second and thought about this guy's 65 years old. I'm 19 years old. Right now, if I had a $4 million check on my desk, it could sit there for 4 months and it wouldn't change my life. I'm not saying do that, nor because I don't take checks. I like wires. So then you don't have to worry about that, right? But no, seriously, it broke my frame of what's possible. I'm sharing life moments with you guys right now. True stories. I'm sharing life moments. Law of exposure, it changed my mind. I remember going on my first jet. I didn't feel like I belonged. Actually, probably my first 20th times on the jet, I didn't feel like I belonged. I'm like, dude, why the fuck is this hillbilly kid getting on this jet, dropping 50 G's to travel across country round trip? I don't deserve this. But I was exposed. I had to lean into it. I was scared. Every time I've invested in myself with great coaches and mentors, 10 grand a month, 10 grand for an hour. I remember paying a guy 10 grand for a name. I was like, yo, this guy was good at coming up with names for stuff. I was like, dude, he's like, it's $10,000. Like, tell me where to send the money. I was scared. I was scared to death. Came up with the name, and I sold many millions of dollars of that product. Could I have sold many millions without the name? Maybe. But you know what it did more importantly? It gave me the confidence to invest in myself and invest in my vision, invest in my dreams, invest with good people. Right? Because I paid for the name, but also he gave me encouragement with the name. Gave me confidence when he gave me the name, saying, well, this is why this name is powerful. This is why this name will work. This is why you should use this name. Thought about it a lot, Mark. This is the name that's going to crush it. See, entrepreneurship can be lonely if you're selfish. Selfish entrepreneurs is very lonely. I'm not lonely. I have lonely moments, but it's usually when I'm cranking and grinding and kind of not being focused on my priorities. But I have lots of great friends. I have lots of people. I could text 100 people right now and they'd all come and meet me in Maui or wherever I'm at. If I need help, I've forged great relationship capital with many people. So I'm not lonely because I'm not selfish. I've invested many years and many dollars and many conversations to connect with great people. Law of exposure. See, when you get in a room, like for example, June 29th and 30th there in Cleveland, Ohio, I don't even have a link set up yet. I'm just sharing it with you. But if you want to get the link and you're listening to the show, message me on Instagram at Mark Evans DM. So, yo, what's the link for the Cleveland event? Just make sure so I can make sure I get you the link when it's ready. But when you get in that room and you realize that this room's different, I swear on my life, it's different. I've been around almost 27 years. This room's different. There's people in that room that genuinely care. I'm not saying other rooms don't care, but it's connected at a level I've never seen. And I'm just glad that I'm a part of it. Like people genuinely care. They genuinely take interest. They genuinely want to help. They're there to guide. Everyone's on a different part of the journey. But I can tell you this. Everyone belongs. Everyone belongs. I don't want you to ever feel like you don't belong in my world. Oh man, you make more money than me. I don't care about money. That says more about you than me. I care about forging deep relationships. Life's not just about money. Don't get me wrong. I want more of it and you should get more of it. But there's way more than that. You could bring solutions. You could solve. There's so much you have in value besides money that can get us all more money. But get exposed to the right rooms. It will change your life. See, I was talking with someone. It's like, dude, like this person has no money. They have two credit cards, charged to the max. They barely make any money at their job. And they're not willing to go get another job because they don't feel like they should have to because they're 50 now. They're damn near bankrupt. And I'm watching this, and I know this person well, but they have the new iPhone. They have the iPhone EarPods. By the way, they have a case to cover for the EarPods case. They have the new purse. They have the new sunglasses. They have the new shoes. They have the new car. And yet they have a roommate. They've been exposed to a different world. And they stay in that world of exposure, of lack. If I have a friend like that, you have to tell them, stop being a fucking dummy. What are you thinking? Why are you so fucking selfish that you think that you should have certain things in life that you should not have anything of this nature? You need to get your shit together. You need to have 3 jobs, not 1 job that barely pays the bills, doesn't even pay the bills. She actually takes money from other people. Gets money from other people, I should say. They're enabling her. She's healthy. What happens when she's not healthy? Heavens forbid, right? This is the shit I think about. We have to be ready. I want you to be ready. That's why I share real shit with you, because I want you to be ready. I want you to do the family legacy trips. I want you to have the opportunities to do whatever you want to grow the life you're seeking. Don't ever stop dreaming. The truth is, as I get bigger financially, I want more. Not for the thing, but for who I have to become to get it. I want to give more money to charity. I have to get more money to do that. I want to give more. I want to do more things. I'm healthy right now. What happens if I become unhealthy? What happens if something happens? See, most of you are waiting for it to happen to get ready. By the time that shit happens, it's too late. Be overly prepared. Exposure, law of exposure, health. Who are you hanging out with? What do they look like? Are you happy with what you look like? Are you happy with how you feel? Now, listen, I'm not saying go out and accomplish all these things overnight. That's not how it works. This is a lifelong journey. But what I'm trying to do is bring awareness to you. We need to be aware to solve. We need to be aware to solve. But when you get exposed to it and you realize how winners win. See, law of exposure with winners looks way different than with people that just get by. I know a lot of people online think I just hang out, smoke cigars, have my feet in the sand, and just chill. Whatever. That's exactly what I don't do. Once in a while, I'm out there doing it. But if anything, right now, my priorities are my family and my businesses and my life and my health. Hanging out to me actually creates anxiety because I know time is fleeting. I'm not saying I don't take time for myself and all that. I just take time differently. See, what's healthier? Is it going to the gym, taking time for yourself, or sitting on the beach eating bonbons? Everyone's got their own way, but the bonbons and beach are not my way. But winners, law of exposure to winners look different. They're on the phone, they close deals, they build teams, they work on themselves, they invest in themselves, they get to work, they show up, they don't fuck around, they take risk, they fuck up, they keep going, they don't stop, they keep winning, they get pissed, they get mad again, and then they do it again, and then they get real pissed, and then they change it up, and then they start winning again. The people that fucking lose the game of life quit. You're fucking quitters. You quit. As soon as it starts getting hard, you look for the eject button. You created this shit. No one else did. But you don't understand. I don't have to understand. You do. See, no one has to understand your bullshit lies and excuses that you may have. And some are probably valid excuses. But what does it do to serve you? See, one thing law of exposure to successful people's helped me with is realize we all have fucked up situations in life. We all do. All of us. We all do. But that's the past. Can't do anything about it. So you're going to let your fucked up past dictate your amazing future ahead of you. That sounds like a dumb move. I just want you to live the best life possible. I didn't say the easiest, by the way. I said the best. Because waking up early every day, doing the things you don't want to do every day, dealing with people that are stealing from you or quitting, and it's part of the game. Acknowledge it and just understand that's it. It's not changing. I don't care how big you're getting, it doesn't change. It's different stress, different problems, bigger, way bigger. Whatever problems you have, I guarantee this is the training ground for the big problems you're about to have in the future. This is the only way you'll be able to cope with them in the future. See, you're exposed to new problems. You always hear guys say, get new problems. You might hear it, but you don't even know what the fuck it actually means. I'll tell you what it means. If you're sitting there growing your business, depending what size it is, and you've never been sued, you've never had someone steal from you, you've never had the product break, you've never had someone fall and break a leg and sue you. Like, this shit happens all the time when you get bigger, all the time. So you wouldn't even be mentally equipped to handle it. You would collapse on the knees if that happened to you today, if you're starting from the beginning. So know that when this shit happens, just smile and know that you're getting closer to where you want to be. Get pissed. Understand that you're the common denominator on all these things. This is the training room right now. Everything you're dreaming about is on the other side of what you're dealing with today. If you think this one little lawsuit is a problem, wait until you got 20 going at the same time. But you don't understand, Mark, it's hard. Is it? You don't understand I didn't do anything wrong. Okay, cool. Who said you did? You don't have to do anything wrong to get sued. Welcome to America. It is what it is. I can't control clowns. I can control me. I can control what I feed my mind. I can control what I feed my body. I can control who I hang out with. I can control when I get up. I can control when I invest in myself and who I invest with. That's on me. Too many of you are trying to control outcomes. You're a fucking control freak. Listen, I'm not saying not to put yourself in the best situation to give you the best outcome, but also I can't be in full control of everything. Stop being so hard on yourself. You took an L. Learn from it and move on. But you don't understand, it's 40 grand. 40 grand's nothing. You just said you want to be worth 50 million. It's nothing. Does it suck? Yes. Did you learn from it? Yes. What are you going to do about it? Grow, move, push, grind, and know that you're getting closer. You got to get around. You got to get exposed to what real money looks like. You got to get exposed to what winning looks like. Most people listening to my voice right now hang out with fucking losers. People that tell you can't do it. People that tell you stop dreaming. People tell you, oh, dude, you know, get a real job. Get down to earth, man. Life's not that easy. What are you thinking, man? Why would you invest in yourself? That's stupid, man. Get to college, get a 4-year degree. That's how you get paid. Are you fucking kidding me? You got to remember, everyone telling you something is telling themselves it's a reflection of them. How in the world could I share $1 billion vision with someone that makes $100? If they knew it or could see it or could feel it, they wouldn't be making hundreds. They'd be making millions, tens of millions, hundreds of millions. And what I'm talking about is you're exposing your vision to the wrong group. If they're talking negative, if they're talking down to you, that's not their fault. That's your fault. You need to shut the fuck up in the wrong rooms. Stop going to those rooms. You get in the right rooms, like the DM Alliance, the DM Family, the DM Bash, and others out there. Get in rooms where they encourage you to dream bigger. Dude, why are you fucking playing small? 20 million's nothing. Go for 200. If you're not rolling in rooms like that, the law of exposure's not working for you. I want you to live the wildest, biggest dream of your life. I'm telling you, it's real. It's out there. The opportunities are massive. But we'll find out. We'll find out if you're there June 29th and 30th. I don't care if you show up or not, but you should sure care. People that show up come here they've been coming to every single one I've ever done. I do it once a year. 100% of the profits that we generate go to charity. I lose money at these things, actually. I want to build deep relationships with great people. I want nothing but success for all. But I can't want it and do it for you. I've been down I'm 27 years deep. I've almost lost it many times. And when I say lost, it went bankrupt. I didn't know how I was going to get through the next day. I didn't know how I was going to get my feet on the fucking floor the next day. Just put me to sleep. Just get me up in the morning. Just give me one more fucking chance. One more chance, Mark. Let's go. Put my feet on the ground. It fucking hurts. It stings. It's scary. I'm dry heaving. I don't know what to do, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to do the right thing. I'm going to call the right people. I'm going to get in front of the right people. I'm going to keep my feet moving. The universe is watching. The universe is testing you. Do you really have what it takes to get to where you want to go? We're going to find out. We are going to find out. 2023 is the separator season. The question is, what side are you going to be on it? I hope you're on the right side. June 29th and 30th, Cleveland, Ohio, Dealmaker Bash. We only have a limited amount of tickets. I don't even have a link yet. I don't even know what's going on. I just know that's the dates, and I'll be there, and I'm going to be ready to fucking kill it with killers. I'm talking win with winners at the highest level. If you ain't in that room, no, my friend, you've been exposed to the conversation. If you miss this fucking event, that's on you. And you should stop listening to my show. You should just get a job at Taco Bell or wherever the fuck you work and get to work on that. I'm not the guy to roll with. I'm done fucking playing small with clowns. I'm done fucking talking with talkers. I only want to win with winners. And I'm not saying you're not winning yet, but when you're winning and you're winning big and you're winning with winners, well, your wins today will be minute to where they'll be. It's time to get serious. I'm your fucking mentor. If you want me to be your mentor, you show up June 29th and 30th. Move the fucking world to be there. Because I am. And you're about to find out. So with that said, make today count.
I'm Mark Evans, DM. I'm here to help and teach them what I know and how I did it. To discover freedom. There ain't no question Mark Evans when he step in the door. He's closing deals. Time to tell him what the DM stand for. I'm a deal maker. But I'm not just a deal maker. I'm a dream maker. The journey's where it's at. It's all about the process. It's time to get over to the DM project. From a small town in Ohio, so I know how it is. And I come from a lot of money. I remember as a kid, wanted to make 100 racks. Didn't see no one making more than that. Graduated high school with a 1.8. They should've held me back. I hope my principals and teachers are alive just to witness this. I'm my own boss. I'm out here running 2-8-figure businesses. I can walk away from it all and I'll be good, but I've been called to help people just like y'all learn the game. It's time to ball. Everybody chasing the money, but I'm not chasing the money. I'm out here chasing the purpose. Yo, I've been working my whole life. What got us where we at isn't gonna get us where we wanna go. So it's time to push, time to learn, time to grow. I'm Mark Evans, DM. I'm here to help and teach them what I know and how I did it. To discover freedom. There ain't no question Mark Evans when he step in the door. He's closing deals. Time to tell him what the DM stand for. I'm a deal maker. But I'm not just a deal maker. I'm a dream maker. The journey's where it's at. It's all about the process. It's time to get over to the DM project. I'm Mark Evans, DM. Deal maker.
This is thepodcastfactory.com.